Yes, hi everyone. Today I'm talking to Carlos. Carlos Molano is half Polish and half Spanish, and he used to fly with Qatar Airways, Qatar Airways, just like me. So he's my former colleague. Carlos, how's everything? How are you?
Hi, Mirella. Great talking to you. It's everything is great actually. I'm here sitting in Madrid right now. It's a bit of a rainy weather. Winter is coming finally, but so far so good. So far so good. What about yourself?
Excellent. Yes, but I'm enjoying actually the nice weather in Poland. So, are you really waiting for the winter?
No, not at all. Not at all. I hate winter, especially after living so many years in Doha, it's very difficult to adjust to the cold weather again. It was difficult to adjust to the extreme heat, but I think for me, it's much more difficult to adjust to the extreme cold weather. So I miss the Middle East weather, believe me.
Yeah, me too. Especially in winter.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm sure that you all the time hear the question, why did you resign? So tell me how long you stayed for in Doha and why? Why did you resign?
Well, for me, it was exactly a cycle of 5 years, and I had several reasons. First, my background, I studied law and political science, so I was not, since teenager, I was not determined to do aviation or anything. But it's true that I was always connected somehow because my mom works in the Polish Airlines in LOT, and actually, but she works in the groups here in the Madrid office. She's been doing this for some time, and then my brother is an aeronautical engineer for Airbus. So for different reasons, I have some connections. And then when I finished university, I thought, okay, what do I really want to do? I want to travel. And then I say, how do I travel without money? Let's become a flight attendant. But the main reason why I resigned, it's because first, I made a list of destinations that I wanted to visit, and that list actually was getting bigger and bigger instead of smaller and smaller. So I thought, okay, once I reach 100 countries, that's a first sign to change and go back to my original career. And another reason was was extremely challenging physically. I mean, probably I started after the third year of flying is when I really jet lag was really hitting me, and I started to have all these sleeping issues, insomnia, and also the short time memory. As you probably notice, you leave the keys somewhere, and then it's like, oh, where do I leave the keys? And this kind of things freak me out a little bit. So after 5 years, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's not that I am passionate about having a job office from Monday to Friday, from 9 to 5, but it was a good change for my body. I think I feel now more adjusted. I go to the gym regularly, and it's not like I'm always feeling sleepy when I'm with friends or falling asleep in the middle of the conversation like it used to happen. So the main reason I would say for me to resign was the physical challenge.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. After that, you actually started doing something that is amazing, in my opinion, because from aviation and with your law background, you decided to go to cybersecurity, let's say, profession. What did you start doing, and how did it happen?
So basically, when I started to monitor a little bit about regular jobs, opening LinkedIn, and it was a kind of strange profile popped up because they were looking for someone who spoke Spanish and Polish in a cybersecurity company that mainly the headquarters are of those companies are in Amsterdam, the EMEA headquarters. So I applied to it, and then I told them, like, guys, my technical background is close to zero. And they said, no, no, no worries. We need to do the sales for the Spanish and Polish market. So we killed two birds with one bullet. Why don't you give it a try? And then no worries about the technical training. We'll send you to Silicon Valley with the engineers over there. You do a training, and then you will enjoy. And that's how it happened. They sent me there. I did a bootcamp training, then went to a sales kickoff, and then from one day to the other, I found myself working in a cybersecurity company, a typical one from Palo Alto. So it was really, really exciting, amazing change, and I loved it. I loved it every single moment of it. Every single moment of it. Yeah.
Okay, so before you resigned, did you have any doubts or were you afraid of the future? Because you said that was amazing change, but usually when I work with people, they say that they are kind of afraid of the new things that are coming. They are not
Mhm.
sure what's going to happen later. So that change is actually not really welcome, but you said it was amazing. So what about before?
Yeah, it's exactly. I had many doubts because it seems that sometimes once you're in aviation, you have to stay in aviation for the rest of your life. And I always compare the feeling like when you see in those movies and when you see a guy coming out of jail and then he has to integrate himself in a normal society, and then you have to start making normal friends and doing. So it was a little bit of that, like you have to reset completely your mindset. And I would say it takes definitely few months, if not years. And some people do it very well and fast. Some
Mhm.
others they try and they never manage, and they go back again to aviation after a few years because they realize that this is what really is their lifestyle. So for me, I miss it sometimes, it's true, but I have no regrets. I managed, I think, quite quickly to let's say go back to the normal job styles and office jobs, and I really like it. But yeah, I have a lot of doubts at the beginning, and I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be tough. Obviously, the Monday to Friday has a lot of downtowns also. Like not only is only not advantages, there is also a lot of disadvantages. But overall, I think the great thing about this kind of jobs is you have to try both. You have to try both. I always believe that everyone should be a flight attendant at least for a year. It should be like once you finish university, no matter what you studied, you have to do it at least for a year because it will change the concept of space and time for the rest of your life. Time is never going to be the same again, and space especially. Nothing. It seems that going to a plane for 15 hours is like going to a bus to visit your grandma. So it's amazing. It's amazing how much it will change your mindset and your lifestyle for sure. So,
That was actually my next question. Why do you think that everybody should be a flight attendant for at least a year? But okay, you kind of answered. But the next question is kind of related to it as well. You traveled a lot in the Middle East, not only in the Middle East, but I know you visited places like, for example, Yemen, but also other cities around probably like the UAE and other countries in the Gulf region. But also you said like you wanted to do this 100 countries. And in our conversation, you actually told me that you still use the skills and it's very helpful to you in your career right now. Why?
because basically now I talk with a lot of clients and many different backgrounds. For example, people from the Middle East and different religions. So sometimes it's to engage with that client, especially to break the ice in the first conversation. It's really amazing how a big difference if you can use few sentences in their own language or just even mention about a specific place that you visit in their country or in their city, how much power this gives to open a conversation and to break the ice is unbelievable. So obviously some things and some places you forget the names and the specifics, but some others it's unbelievable how the human brain works. It will retain for years and years, and you still will remember that guy that you cross in the street in Bangladesh or the market or the name of a restaurant, and suddenly in your daily life you will mention just one small detail, and it will trigger the interest of that other person. It will help you develop, but not just in professional life, also in personal life. It's all this background and experience is so rich to invest in traveling is unbelievable. There is nothing like investing in traveling, absolutely nothing. So yeah.
Right. What do you do now? Where are you now? Because I know you moved to the Netherlands after training, yes, in the USA.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that job for a while, and then I went to a different. It was a Dutch startup, and I was doing online brand protection, which is basically now is very trendy because, for example, there's a lot of people selling products in Facebook or in Amazon or in eBay. So basically, what we were doing, we had the software, and we were monitoring those brands. Let's say my client is a specific clothing brand, and we monitor that clothing brand and we make sure that none of these products are fake or not only clothing. It could be pharmaceutical products, medicines, car parts. So it's amazing because it's a very growing sector as well. Because now there is more and more everything basically it could be fake and not only luxurious product but also very simple products, and we were monitoring them and then taking them down when it was illegal. So for example, we block it from the payments, or you block it for the search engines like Bing, Google, all those. So it was also very very efficient. I wanted to also see that part of the how the technology could help to protect the brands basically, because you create something and then suddenly you realize that you're losing money instead of making money. So it was amazing, yeah. And from that one to the last one, I went back more to the cybersecurity part. In the last one, what I'm doing is basically it's more backup and recovery. So it's connected with big data because now the companies produce such a massive amount of data on a daily basis. So basically, what we do in case if there is a cyber attack or an earthquake and a company will lose all this data, what we do is that we manage to recover that data and put it back into traction so the company can work in a normal way again. So it's and this is what I'm currently doing right now. Also, is another company from Silicon Valley, and so it's very interesting. I touch I think three very growing sectors and very financially interesting also personal wise, because I think the way the market is moving for towards now, it's a sector basically where there is no unemployment. It's the opposite. There is a lack of employees, specialized employees. So I don't know if I will have a daughter or a son the tomorrow in the near future, I will definitely suggest them. Oh, you know what? If you want to study something related to cybersecurity, I think here is where the future is going to be for the next 20, 25 years for sure. So it's a very, very interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Okay. I don't want to ask you about money, but I know that you told me that you are satisfied with the financial conditions, and I know from lots of crew that this is one of the reasons they are afraid of resigning as well.
Mhm.
So actually, with your, like previous background in aviation and legal studies, now you're doing something totally different, and still the financial conditions are great for you.
Mhm.
So what kind of advice could you give to those who fly and struggle right now because they are not
Mhm.
what to do next, and they are not happy thinking
Mhm.
about resigning?
I think the two things that will give you a lot of power comparing to the other people who could compete for the same positions is number one, languages, and number two is traveling. Because in this modern area where everything goes by technology, what people and the companies require more is the social skills. Because people, it's very sad, but people don't talk anymore face to face. You see them in the metro, they are playing with the phone. So once you learn how to speak in public, develop languages, and then if you travel a lot, it will help to develop all those skills and also to get the background from the different people you talk to. This is the most powerful tool. And obviously, I think one thing that helped me a lot also was the possibilities and the option to travel and work in different countries. So I was looking obviously for options where financially was more interesting. So this one, obviously, not everyone can do it, and not everyone wants to do it, but it uh, you have to be very open-minded, I think, if you want to succeed in this financial level. And then but everything will come to place, because you might think you are studying something that you really like but it's not useful. Believe me, if you just focus on that one thing that you really like, you have to persist in that one thing. Because maybe you might think, oh, there is not so many opportunities, but if you are the best in that one thing that there is very a lot of people doing, you will still be the best. So you will find the window of opportunity. So always persist and always be open-minded about it.
I absolutely agree. Right. So actually, that's it. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, anytime if anyone wants to ask me any personal questions, please feel free. You can reach out to me anytime and on LinkedIn, and I would love to share. But like I say, no matter which job you do, you gotta keep traveling and you gotta keep expanding the knowledge, because those opportunities never go back. And the only thing I think we will can regret in the future is not travel enough. The other things, there is always ways to fix it, to change it. But travel, travel, travel. There is so many unexplored places. You might think, oh, I've seen enough. No, it's never enough. It's never enough. So you got to keep exploring. And yeah, it was great. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my experience. And anytime you wanna talk again, I'm here.